Hey everybody, welcome back to James Draws Everything. Continuing today with drawing our series of every country in the world's flag, and today we're going to be doing a really big one. We're going to be doing Indonesia. All right, so Indonesia, it's a gigantic country. You probably don't really think of it as a gigantic country, but it's one of the biggest countries in the world, and it's all islands, right? So it's just a giant archipelago. 17,000 islands in Indonesia. I know sometimes that number is disputed. Conservative estimates, you can say maybe as low as like 12,000, but either way, that's a lot. And it's a very diverse country. It's actually kind of surprising that it's even really like a unified country in the first place. 700 different languages are spoken in Indonesia. Their population is 276 million people, so they're the fourth most populated country in the world. A lot of volcanic activity, a lot of interesting history. There's a lot of places too in Indonesia that are just so remote and difficult to get to. The jungles are so thick there. A lot of it is still kind of untouched by human exploration to this day. So if you're into like cryptozoology and stuff like that, you probably heard these tall tales of like dinosaurs still existing in Indonesia, and they do have Komodo dragons, right? And I don't know, I think those things are basically dinosaurs, right? So if you've ever seen one of those, well, if you ever have seen one of those, you're probably not around anymore to be listening to this, because they are a very savage beast. Scary stuff. But yeah, Indonesia was mainly ruled by Buddhist and Hindu dynasties for the longest time. The Majapahit, I think I'm saying that right, Majapahit dynasty that unified most of what's modern day Indonesia and Malaysia in the 13th and 15th centuries. In the 11th century, Islam arrives because Indonesia's on the trade routes in Southeast Asia, and they bring Islam to Indonesia. Pretty much wipes out Buddhism and Hinduism, and today, Indonesia, even though you don't really think of it like that because it's not in the Middle East, but it's the largest majority Muslim country in the world. It's 87% Muslim. And again, it's an enormous country. If you put all the islands of Indonesia, in like North America, it would actually stretch across the east and west coast of the United States. So very big country. And Portuguese settlers arrive in the 16th century. They're driven out by the Dutch in the 17th. Japan occupies them in World War II while the Dutch are still there. A lot of fighting going on in World War II, and a lot of pressure from the United Nations and international community for Indonesian independence from the Dutch. So there's a big fight there, and the Dutch eventually give it up in 1949, and then Indonesia joins the international community. Kind of unstable though. Again, there's just so much diversity and like just different people there. There's very different ethnicities and religions. So they do have some communist uprisings. Very unstable government until as far as like 1999 was when they had their very first international community approved free and fair elections. So that's still within very recent memory, 1999. You have a lot of separatist movements in Indonesia. I know the country of East Timor separated from Indonesia after the 2000s, I think like 2002 or 3. And so there's a lot of separatist movements to this day. But it's a growing economy, growing population as well, young population. And so that's Indonesia, and there's the flag. And wait a minute, oh my god, I swear I'm gonna fire my research agent. They gave me the same flag as Monaco to draw for. What? No, really? That they actually do have. Okay, okay. I've been corrected. That actually is the flag of Indonesia. So it's basically the exact same flag as the flag of Monaco. Monaco's, I guess, is just a tad bit shorter. But other than that, yeah, literally exactly the same. And then if you flip these upside down, you get the Polish flag. So what do the colors mean in the Indonesia flag? The colors, the red and white, goes back to the Majapahit Empire of the 13th and 15th century. Red stands for courage, white stands for purity. And this ain't cutting it for me. You're getting some bonus content because I already drew the Indonesia flag or the Monaco flag or vice versa. Take your pick. So we're gonna design our own Indonesian flag. All right. So bonus content time. James Draws Everything. I think Indonesia is probably one of the most unique countries in the world, right? It's an Islamic country, but that's not really like a thing in that part of the world, and it's absolutely enormous. And they have all sorts of cool wildlife and stuff there. So let's just start off. We'll draw the Komodo dragon in the center of the flag, and this actually is the state animal, like the official animal of Indonesia is the Komodo dragon. Yeah, and I would like to see one of these things, but behind the safety of some zoo reinforced glass, because yeah, again, these things are absolutely savage. Just think of like a lizard, but 300 pounds, or so kind of like a little mini alligator. But, and I mean, come on, it's got dragon in the name. Like, what more do you want? Like, it's so yeah, these things can be a bit of a nuisance, I guess. Like if you have like if you're like a farmer or something in Indonesia, because yeah, they will terminate on sight. They are a nasty animal. Definitely a carnivore. All right, so that's our little Komodo dragon, the state animal, and we're gonna give the Komodo dragon. We're gonna honor the red and white of the Majapahit dynasty a little bit. We're gonna have him carrying a red and white banner to represent that. So we'll have that wrapping around. Yeah, Indonesia, you got so much going on, and that's your flag. Jeez. Alright, so, and then it's going to come back around, and we'll just put it behind his tail. Alright, so that's the red and the white. Got to remember to put the red on top of that. Don't want to confuse it with the Polish dragons, or whatever, Komodo dragons. I don't think they would survive in Poland with that climate. But yeah, Indonesia, if you're into like just any kind of like zoology and stuff like that, it's definitely a cool place. And Indonesia too, while I'm kind of just doing my spitball take here on the Indonesian flag, some of the largest islands in the world, like so the island of Borneo, there's actually more than just Indonesia in that island, right? So the island of Borneo has the majority of it is Indonesia, but then parts of that also belong to Malaysia, and then inside that little part of Malaysia that's on Borneo is the country of Brunei. So, and then East Timor as well. Again, that's separated from Indonesia. I think, I can't remember, it's either this or South Sudan is the newest country in the world. I think it's South Sudan, because that was like 2011-ish or something like that. Yeah, so that was that happened in like 2002. So that's another deal where it's like half the island is Indonesia, and then the other half is East Timor, or Timor-Leste, whatever you want to call it. We'll get to that country eventually. And then also Papua New Guinea. That's on New Zealand. Well, why did I say New Zealand? That's on Indonesia. So Papua New Guinea is I kind of alluded to that before. Half the island is Indonesia, half of it's Papua New Guinea. So there's a lot of separatist movements there, and from what I understand, the Indonesian government kind of leaves them alone. Like they're sort of like they sort of do their own thing there. But there's a lot of, again, movements that, they want their own autonomy. So I think, I kind of mentioned this too in my Moldova episode of like countries that may not make it much longer. I think Indonesia is kind of one of those countries where it's so massive and it's so diverse. And, again, you've already seen parts split off from it recently with East Timor. You got to think that, like, in the next century here, the 21st century, Indonesia could definitely be split up into, some other countries, because it's crazy levels of diversity, and it doesn't always work when you're trying to, run like a unified state from the center. Okay, so there's our little dragon. Let me just outline him. He's got those little bow-legged legs. I guess these things can run pretty damn fast too. I remember I was like, you ever just like you're going down the YouTube rabbit hole and you just find something that's crazy interesting, and then before you know it, it's like 4 hours later and you watched 100 of these videos. I did that once with the Komodo dragons. Just found them really interesting. Hold on, something going out with my battery here. Alright, close call. Thanks for warning me, laptop. Alright, so just finish his spine. The Mahapijit Dynasty ribbon. He is a patriotic Komodo dragon. Give him an eyeball. Alright, so let's just get rid of some of them pencil lines. Okay, and because Indonesia is full of islands, there's a lot of water there, we're gonna do some water. The blue in this flag will represent the water and the island heritage of Indonesia. And then we'll leave the middle bar white, and we'll just say that stands for purity, I guess. We'll keep that like their actual flag. The white stands for purity, so we'll give you that. And then the top part will be green. Indonesia is an Islamic country, so we'll do the Islamic moon. Hearts, stars, clovers, and blue moons. No, just moons and stars. I already got in trouble with Azerbaijan for calling the Islamic flag a bowl of cereal. All right. So just a quick one here. We'll just get our star cornered off. Green, the color of Islam. The moon and the star. Alright, and then just kind of work that over a little bit more. Not going to be perfect with this, just a quick little idea that came to mind that I want to see realized on paper. Okay. And then maybe just with my fine point, I'll go in and just outline those a little bit more. Alright everybody, so that's my proposed Indonesia flag. There's the actual Indonesia flag, and hey, there's the Monaco flag. You know, take your pick, either or. So let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.